dark clouds loomed over the heavens, and an eerie silence filled the air. The gods watched in fear, for a storm was coming, a battle unlike any before. A shadow grew across the land, a force so terrifying that even the devas trembled. The demon Andhakasura had risen, his thirst for power insatiable. With each passing moment, chaos spread. The heavens burned, the earth cracked, and the cries of the innocent echoed through the cosmos. Villages turned to ash, rivers ran red, and darkness consumed everything in its path. The gods, powerless before Andhakasura's wrath, turned to one being, the only force capable of ending this nightmare. Their desperate eyes turned toward Mount Kailash, where the eternal protector of Dharma resided. Upon Mount Kailash, in the stillness of meditation, sat Mahadev, the destroyer, the cosmic force of balance. His presence was tranquil, yet boundless, his closed eyes reflecting the wisdom of the ages. The winds whispered his name, carrying the weight of an impending war. But when Dharma is threatened, the Lord must rise. And so, Shiva opened his eyes. Long ago, Andhakasura was not born a monster. He was a mere child, abandoned in darkness, unaware of his origins. But fate had chosen a different path for him. Through years of penance, he pleased Lord Brahma and was granted a boon, immortality in battle. Each drop of his blood would give rise to a new form, making him undefeatable. But the boon became a curse. With every victory, his thirst for power grew. He no longer fought for survival, he fought to rule. The demon set his sights on the heavens, declaring war against the gods. His army stormed the celestial realms, and one by one the devas fell before his might. Indra, the king of the gods, led the resistance, but even his thunderbolts could not stop the tide of destruction. The heavens trembled as Andhakasura's laughter echoed through the cosmos. Defeat seemed inevitable. The gods, broken and desperate, turned to the one force that could restore balance. The time had come for Mahadev to enter the war. The skies darkened as Mahadev, the eternal force of destruction, stepped onto the battlefield. His presence alone made time stand still, and even the fiercest warriors hesitate. With slow, deliberate steps, Shiva advanced. Each movement sent shockwaves through the earth, his trishul glowing with divine fire. The deva, watching from above, felt a surge of hope. Andhakasura turned, his eyes burning with arrogance. He had conquered gods before. Why should Mahadev be any different? Raising his sword, he roared, "Shiva! You are but another obstacle in my path." Shiva did not respond. He simply raised his trishul and pointed it at the demon. The ground trembled, and the air grew heavy with unseen power. The gods held their breath, for they knew this was no ordinary war. With a deafening war cry, Andhakasura charged, his blade slashing through the air. But before his weapon could strike, Shiva moved, effortlessly, like a shadow in the wind. A single swing of the trishul sent shockwaves through the battlefield. What followed was a battle beyond mortal comprehension. Lightning split the sky, fire rained from above, and the roars of gods and demons echoed through the cosmos. And at the heart of it all stood Shiva and Andhakasura, locked in a battle that would decide the fate of creation itself. The battlefield shook as Shiva and Andhakasura clashed. Sparks flew as trishul met sword, the impact sending waves of energy across the land. The ground split open, rivers changed course, and the very sky trembled. Andhakasura fought fiercely, his strikes filled with fury. But for every attack he launched, Shiva countered with effortless grace. The destroyer moved like a storm, fluid yet unstoppable. Realizing he could not overpower Shiva with sheer strength, Andhakasura called upon his dark boon. With each wound he suffered, his spilled blood gave rise to countless new demons, filling the battlefield with an endless army. The gods watched in horror. No matter how many times Shiva struck him down, Andhakasura's army only grew stronger. It seemed as though even Mahadev could not end this battle. But Mahadev is the source of all destruction, and when destruction is needed, he calls upon the most fearsome force, the goddess of ultimate wrath. With a roar that shook the cosmos, Devi Kali emerged from Shiva's being. Her skin dark as night, her hair wild like flames, she stormed the battlefield with an insatiable hunger for destruction. Her tongue dripped with the blood of demons, swallowing Andhakasura's cursed essence before it could touch the ground. For the first time, fear entered Andhakasura's heart. His greatest strength, his cursed blood, had been turned against him. The demon king staggered back, realizing that death was now inevitable. Andhakasura staggered back, his once mighty form now trembling. The battlefield, once filled with his endless army, was now drenched in silence. His own power had become his downfall. Shiva stepped forward, his trishul glowing with cosmic fire. He had given Andhakasura a chance, but the demon had chosen destruction. Now, justice had to be delivered. With a final roar, Shiva hurled his trishul. The weapon, imbued with the power of the cosmos, pierced through Andhakasura's chest, burning away his darkness. The demon let out a final, deafening scream before dissolving into nothingness. The battle was over. The gods rejoiced. The heavens shone once more, and the earth sighed in relief. But Shiva simply stood there, his eyes gazing into the infinite, knowing that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same truth. As the dust settled, the cosmos stood still. The mighty Andhakasura was no more. His reign of terror had ended, and balance was restored. The Deva bowed in reverence, their voices chanting Shiva's name. But Mahadev did not celebrate. He simply turned away, his role fulfilled, his duty done. For Shiva does not seek victory. He is beyond good and evil, beyond destruction and creation. He is the eternal truth, the force that maintains cosmic balance. And so, the legend of Andhakasura was written in time, not just as a tale of destruction, but as a lesson. Arrogance leads to downfall, and in the end, only truth prevails. Har Har Mahadev.